Hey, yo,
Yo, what's up?
what's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is one of those Saturdays that might go down in the record books. It is officially moving time. We're start to really stack the resumes before we come out with the first CFP ranking. And so, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into this. My name is Corey Hilliard. The man next to me is Brandon Hill, aka B Hill, aka B, and we are the House Divided. Whether this is your first time, Mikasa Sukasa, or you've been here before, welcome back. Let's do this thing. Before we go over the house rules, my boy B's got to talk to you. Get him, B.
Yeah, you guys already know what time it is around here, guys. If you aren't already, go ahead down there. It's in red. It says it right there. It says subscribe. Just go ahead and hit that button for us one time. Really helps us out, and we really appreciate it. Another thing as well, there's a notification bell there that you guys can hit on as well. Keeps you up to date on all our newest and latest content that we have. If you don't already know, we talk football, college and NFL, and we talk NBA and we talk college basketball around here. So if you guys want to be up to date, hit that bell down there. Another thing, if you guys like the content that you're seeing, if you like what you're hearing, everything else, hit that like button. That again, that helps with the YouTube algorithms and everything to get us out there to you guys so everybody can see our content. And the best and the latest and greatest thing that you guys can do for us, hop down in the comment box. Drop a comment. Let us know what you guys think about our show. I don't care if you absolutely want to go on there and go on a rant and just tell us that we're doing a terrible job and we need to work on this. We would really appreciate any kind of comments at all, guys. But without further ado, we are going to hop into this week 8 of college football action. Like Corey just alluded to, this is the last week before they get to stack them resumes up because next week they're coming out with them college football playoff rankings. So that's when we're going to start really seeing the teams getting to that nitty gritty of their schedule. You know what I'm saying? There's a bunch of top matchups here. We're just covering. We got 5 this week like usual, but these are all 5 games to where the teams are all ranked in the top 25. One game where both teams are ranked in the top 10. And that's the game I'm going to start out with here tonight, Corey. And it's in the Pac-12. In the Pac-12, guys. Yeah, we got the UCLA Bruins, old Chip Kelly over there. He's going over there and up there to Eugene, Oregon to go face them Oregon Ducks.
Ooh. We both know how it is in Austin Stadium, man, up there in all up there in Oregon. Beautiful part of the country, but terrible place to play a football game if you're a visitor.
Right. I completely agree. I feel like this is deja vu, Corey. We've been over this before.
Yeah, we talked about them when they played BYU, I believe, went up there as a higher ranked team and got smashed.
And got smashed on.
Yeah.
Absolutely smashed. So this is a 2:30 game on CBS. Oregon's favored by 6.5 here. Does Vegas know something that we don't?
I think that.
Go ahead.
I think the trend, bro. I mean, it's hard to play on the road on these conference games, man. I mean, just look at last week. You talk about Utah, Oklahoma State, Alabama all being on the road on the conference and having leads in the fourth quarter, and they all lose. That's just to the home power, the power of the home team. Plus, outside of that Oregon-Georgia game, what has Oregon really done bad?
No, absolutely. I mean, that was – and a lot of people look at that too, and they're like, man, that was so terrible, though. Like, they played their absolute worst game they could possibly play. But credit to them, Bo Nix has settled in very nicely this season. Have you looked at his numbers? He's 131 for 186, 1,526 yards. He's got 12 touchdowns to only 3 interceptions. So he's not giving the ball away. He's not costing his team. And he's putting up some pretty good yards. But on the other side of the ball, you got Dorian Thompson-Robinson sitting over there. He's 122 for 163, 15 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. And he's got a little bit more of the threat on the run game, I would think. I'm worried more if I'm Oregon. I'm worried more about Dorian Thompson-Robinson taking off and running with the ball. Now he's a very capable passer, but I'd worry more about his play action ability the way that he's able to scramble out of that pocket and just run that Chip Kelly offense that Chip Kelly likes to run, man. It's fast pace.
Yeah.
They're up to the line. They keep the defense on their toes. I like this 6.5, Corey. I like it.
You like UCLA, huh?
I do. I do all the way.
Ah, man. I'm not with you on that one, but I can see why.
That's absolutely fine, but I like my odds in this one. You give me that 6.5, I'll ride with it all day long. I mean, I got UCLA winning outright, man. They're going to beat that spread. They're going to pull up in there to Oregon. They're going to show people that they are about that life, and they should be ranked higher than number 9. I mean, what better way to do it than against the number 10 opponent? I mean, this is going to be a top-notch matchup. What's your take?
Oh man, I like Oregon to win the game outright. I think they'll win by 7. So I got them beating the spread only because they're at home. And the quarterback play to me is going to be a toss-up. If you had to make me pick one of the 2 quarterbacks, I would take DTR. But Bo Nix has been playing great, but he has that little Spencer Sanders factor in him, which he'll throw a stupid pass here and there twice a game. Like, what the hell are you doing? So
right.
that bothers me. But even with all of that being said, I still like Oregon. I still like them at home. I think their defense is just stronger than what UCLA's is going to put on the field, and I think they'll get more stops in the end. It'll be a close game, though, and I wouldn't be surprised if UCLA won, but I'm just going with the Ducks.
No, I feel you. I'm going to roll with the Bruins on this one, man. So you're going to go with the Ducks. That's, hey, not a bad pick, man, because old Lanning, man, he's got them boys playing good over there in Oregon. I mean, they're playing good defense too, Corey. They're not just sitting there playing offense. You know what I'm saying? So, but UCLA, just a titch better, man. They're just a titch better. So it's going to be a classic matchup. Great top 10 matchup to look forward to. This number 2 game that I got on the docket, it's your OSU Cowboys, man. It's at Oklahoma State. It's a 2:30 p.m. game on ABC. Texas at Oklahoma State. You got them old Shorthorns coming up into Stilly. Yeah, I called them the Shorthorns. That's fine. You guys hop down in the comment box if y'all got a problem with it. I'd love to hear from you. I mean, yes, I'm a Sooners fan, and yes, you guys beat us 49-0, but to me, you know how I look at Oklahoma State, Corey. You guys, y'all are little bros. You know what I'm saying? Big brother could not get it done this year. We was a little hampered by injuries and just overall talent problem, everything else. So they got Texas pulling up into your house, Vegas does, favored by 6 points, Corey. 6 points. To me, that is very disrespectful. Very. Because if you look at the resume side by side, the best thing on Texas's resume still is that 1 point loss to Bama.
Right.
That, to me, that's still better than beating Oklahoma 49-0 because yes, I will stand by it until the day I die. They beat us hands down handily that day. But if we had Dylan Gabriel, it would have been a much different game. That would have changed the whole dynamic of that game.
Oh, of course.
So I like the fact of a Spencer Sanders effect in this game. I like Presley. I believe the other guy is Stoner, if I'm not mistaken. Is that his last name? The white guy? The white receiver y'all got?
John Paul Richardson.
See, I'm off, man. Stoner's been gone.
It's all good.
So I'm not an OSU fan, so forgive me for that one. But I like them to be able to make enough plays to win in this game. But here's the thing that's kind of making me tread my tires a little bit on this, Corey. And I go back to y'all's secondary. And I go back to what Texas has to deploy on their side of things. Not only do they have Xavier Worthy, but Sanders, that tight end, is pretty good. Jordan Whittington on the other side is very capable of catching balls. He's a very good possession receiver. He'll get you that first down when they're sitting at like 3rd and 8 or something. Quinn Ewers will look for him for a possession catch to be able to catch that ball. And, of course, you got Bijan Robinson in that backfield, man. You don't really have to worry about them so much as far as the running threat from the quarterback, though. But I think your defensive line will be able to shore that up anyways. I don't think Quinn Ewers is going to have any free running lanes up the middle. But I'll let you touch on this. But the only thing that makes me worried about you guys, I'm picking you guys before you talk. So I'm picking you guys to win this game because I just cannot pick Texas in this one against you guys. I think y'all are the overall better team, and you're at home. So with both of those things adding into it, I think y'all are going to win the game. But it makes me pause for concern because of y'all's secondary. What do you take on this?
No, I mean, you're absolutely right. Well, I mean, generally, and you're a big 247 recruiting guy, right? So let me ask you a question. The last 4 or 5 years, the recruiting classes that Texas have had, top 10 classes, right?
Oh, every year.
So they got athletes. In OSU, we hover around the late 30s or early 40s in recruiting classes. So every time
25 1 year, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so every time we play Texas, they're gonna have better athletes. That's always been the case, and especially when you're talking about their receivers versus our secondary. So the big thing, how do you negate that? We have the best defensive line in the Big 12. Got to generate pressure, right? So I'm looking at Brock Martin, Colin Oliver. Those guys have got to show out on Saturday and we have to come with some blitz packages to get your boy off his spot. And then number two, I think there's been a lot of talk. I've been listening to a lot of sports talk radio this week here in Oklahoma. And the biggest thing is there's something going on with Spencer Sanders health-wise. He didn't practice all last week before TCU still played in the game. I think that there's rumors out, and I think this one, because when the game first opened, the line was plus 1.5 OSU. So we were 1.5 underdogs at home, and then it jumped up to 6. And everybody's being tight-lipped around Stillwater about Spencer Sanders' availability for the game. So there could be a Gundy sighting because his kid is the backup quarterback. So we'll see. But if Gundy plays, that opens up the playbook way more because he's a better passer than Spencer Sanders. Spencer, what he brings to the table is if he gets in trouble, he can use his legs and get out of it, which he's been doing a great job of this year. So with that being said, I'm definitely going to take my Cowboys to pull the upset at home. No matter who plays quarterback.
Though?
We're 6 point. We're 6 point.
I really don't give a damn what Vegas thinks, man. I don't see y'all as underdogs. That's disrespectful.
Yeah, but you have to understand. I agree, but if we win the game, it's an upset technically because we're not favored. They are favored. Here's what Texas does have going for them: that defense. Gary Patterson, old coach from TCU's over there helping out that defensive staff. They play great defense. Right? They play really, really good defense. And I hate saying that about Texas. I'm the biggest Texas hater as you are. But they have been stellar on the defensive side of the ball. So that scares me.
Can't hate on that. No, I mean, they've been stellar on the defensive side of the ball, and they've been able to score points on the offensive side of the ball, and they've looked like a completely different team. But then, I mean, they beat us 49-0, but then they come out last week against Iowa State and barely pull off the victory.
Yeah, they pulled in without late. Yeah.
But Iowa State, that didn't surprise me, though, because Iowa State, Matt Campbell, he's always going to have them boys ready to play. Mm-hmm. They play that weird, I think it's like a 3-5-3 defense or something like that.
3-3-5, yeah.
3-3-5, yeah. And it's weird. A lot of teams don't know how to handle it. I mean, they used to do that against Lincoln Riley and give that man absolute fits. So I don't see Texas pulling up into here. I wish it was like a 7:00 game. Why couldn't this
night game? Yeah, that'd have been lit. That'd have been
right before the weekend before Halloween too. Everything else, I mean, you guys could have pulled out the black jerseys on them, and y'all's fans out there just smacking the hell out that wall and everything. I mean, y'all be lit for it. Y'all gonna be ready. Y'all gonna be ready regardless. But here's my thing though: if y'all don't have Spencer Sanders, you're not beating Texas.
No. And I think he hadn't practiced all week, and I think he's going to give his best effort. We got to be able to run the ball with Dominic Richardson and our backup running backs. Our offensive line needs to be better, and Coach Gundy called him out in the opening week press conference on Monday, saying that they need to do a better job fitting up and getting to the second level. So, I mean, it was rightfully so because the reason we lost to TCU last week, we couldn't run the ball in the fourth quarter. So that's got to be better. So I'm hanging my hat on that. I got my pokes. We'll pull the upset. We will win. That's all I got to say about it, man.
Gotta win. You gotta win. We can't let Texas beat both Oklahoma teams this year, man. I just, well,
Uh,
no. We can't let that happen. So I'm pulling for Oklahoma State in this one just because of my absolute utter hate and disgust for the Texas Longhorns. Just don't care. And they're still not getting any of my respect, even though they beat us 49-0 this year. So that's just how I feel about it. People can talk about it all they want with me. I don't care. This next game, though, it's another game in the Big 12. It's another top matchup, top 25 matchup. You got the Kansas State Wildcats going in there to go face TCU at home. What is it with TCU this year and getting all their top games at home?
Man, they lucked out. They lucked out.
The schedule just fell that way for them this year, man, and it just happened. The football gods have treated them well this year so far.
Beautiful.
I mean, but you got Kansas State coming up into this game. They're 5-1 right now. They're 3-0 in the conference. They're looking good. You know what I'm saying? They've been playing good ball. But I don't think anybody in the conference has looked as good as the TCU Horned Frogs have this year.
No, I don't. I totally agree. Nobody's looked as good as them.
What they've done up to this point, and just how Max Duggan. My gosh, I keep thinking he's going to come back down to reality and start playing like the Max Duggan of old that we know. But maybe he's just turned that page. And dude, Deuce Vaughn's a beast over there. He's got 661 yards on 120 carries and 3 touchdowns. But old Miller over there for TCU.
Kendra.
Yeah, he's got Kendra Miller. He's got 91 carries. He's got less yards, 578, but he's got 8 touchdowns. So TCU, whenever you break it down and you look at the offense comparative, it's not even close. It's just not.
I think TCU has the X factor of Johnston at wide receiver.
That dude's the X factor every week, man. That dude
Quentin
is
Johnston.
He's going to play on Sundays. That dude will play on Sundays. I promise you that. Just because of his overall height and he can catch. He's a ball hawk. I mean, that guy can get that ball.
He's got a huge catch radius, man. You just put it up next to him and he'll go get it.
That's why Max Duggan's looking so good right now, man. That man's got Max Duggan looking amazing this year.
Well, who do you got? Because the spread is, 3.5 for TCU, right?
TCU, yeah.
Who you going with?
I got TCU winning and covering, man.
I got the same thing, bro.
I just don't. I mean, they just look like the most complete team overall to me right now. I mean, they can play on both sides. They're not great defensively, but they do just enough because their offense can make up for it. So they're definitely a fun team to watch this year. They're my Big 12 favorite as of right now. I mean, you can't pick against them. So TCU's going to win. They're going to cover. I think they're going to win by at least a couple scores too, Corey.
It could be, man. Guess who K-State's only loss is to this year?
Oh, it's Tulane.
And guess what Tulane's ranked in the top 25?
I know they're at like 22 or 23 right now, if I'm not mistaken.
They're 25 in the country. They're 6-1. So everybody laughed at that Tulane loss for K-State. That's actually looking to be like a pretty. If you want to call
they
it
had that,
loss.
then they pulled up into Norman the next week and beat the number 6 team in the nation. So
yeah. That just says more about Tulane to me than anything.
Absolutely. But no, I got TCU winning on this one and covering. I don't think it's going to be that close of a game. It's a 7 p.m. game on Fox Sports 1. I mean,
I got TCU by 10.
I got them by 14. 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, so we both got them by double digits.
Absolutely. You got anything else in this game before we go to this next one?
Nope.
All right, man. This next one, I think we said last week that Clemson had an easy road to the playoffs, everything else. Not so fast. This is one of those games. If Clemson loses, they've lost to Syracuse in years when Syracuse hadn't won but 3 games a year. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is kind of one of those games, kind of like how OU has that thorn in its side with K-State. And you know what I'm saying? And how Oklahoma State always struggles with Oklahoma, things like that. This team, no matter how good they are, Syracuse, always plays Clemson tough.
Mm-hmm.
No matter if it's at home, no matter if it's away. That's why it's an 11 a.m. game on ABC. They got Clemson minus 14.
Big favorites.
I think that spread's a little outrageous personally, because I think Syracuse is going to be able to keep this thing close. I say that all to say I got Clemson winning the game. Of course, I don't think they're going to get upset this weekend, but I don't got them covering that 14-point spread. I think they'll win by like 7 to 10 points. That's where I got Clemson at right now against, I mean, it's the number 14 team, Syracuse. I mean, they're 6-0 as well. They need a little respect out here. You know
Absolutely.
what I'm saying?
They're only giving up 268 yards a game, bro. It's one of the better defenses in the country.
So it's one of the better defenses Clemson's faced all year, too.
All year, too. Yeah, absolutely.
So is this going to be one of those games maybe that DJ Uyunglele probably struggles a little bit?
It could be, bro. Here's what
Now,
you got to think if you're Clemson. If Clemson loses this game, they are not going to the CFP. I'm just being right out honest. If they lose this one, they can still win the ACC, but they'll find a way to put a one-loss non-champion SEC team over a one-loss ACC champion Clemson Tigers. They'll find a way to leave them out.
I don't know. Just because of the clout that comes with their name. I mean, Clemson's earned that respect to where if they're sitting there as an ACC champ and a one loss, I mean, I don't, unless it's Georgia or Alabama, but I don't even think it's going to come down to that this year. I think Tennessee's going to shake that thing all the way up.
You think they'll, all right, yeah. Well,
you know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
So I don't agree with that take if Clemson loses, that they don't make the playoff, because I think that a one-loss Clemson just with – because the College Football Playoff Committee, man, they're biased. I don't care what nobody says.
Huge.
You know what I'm saying? OSU or OU or anybody, if we're ranked in the top 10 and we take a loss, we're dropping close to the number 20, around there. Alabama, by the other hand, they take a loss, they're dropping to like 6 or 7. You know what I'm saying? At worst.
They know what they're doing. They're giving them a little chance to make some catch up on the later games. But you're saying Clemson's building a big enough brand to where they get the benefit of the doubt now.
If they only have one loss and they win the ACC, absolutely, because they have enough other games on their resume. They still have Notre Dame, even though Notre Dame isn't that good this year, they're still Notre Dame. Mm-hmm. And that's still a name, and it's something to put on your resume. I mean, it's all good. We don't know. I'm just saying, if I had to guess and I had to put money on it, if you got a one-loss ACC champion and the only team they lost to was the number 14 team in the nation, yeah, they're going to be in there. But if if Syracuse beats them though and they win out, Syracuse might be in there.
That's true.
So I don't know. I could be wrong on that too. So who knows? Because they damn sure ain't put 2 ACC teams in. I promise you that.
Well, they might mess around and put 2 Big Ten teams in there. You know how they love the Big Ten.
Yeah, because it's going to come down to the end of the year. Ohio State and Michigan are both going to be ranked in the top 4 if things keep going status quo.
Yeah.
So it could be like your Georgia-Alabama game of last year.
If that game goes to overtime in the horseshoe and Ohio State wins by 3 in overtime or something like that.
Like I said, though, man, the one that's going to trump all this is Tennessee, because you know they're going to put Bama in there if Bama went out.
Yeah.
You know they're going to. The one that's going to trump are you putting a one-loss Tennessee in? Or are you putting a one-loss Michigan in?
If Tennessee beats Georgia, and then they lose to Alabama in the SEC championship, Tennessee's in, because you would have beaten the SEC champion Alabama once already, and you would have beaten Georgia. That, to me, that gets you in. I'm sorry.
I think so too. And you're in the SEC, they're gonna give the high road to the SEC every time, just because of who's on their schedule and what they go through. And if you come out of that thing with only one loss, you're a hell of a football team. I mean, that's just all there is to say.
Yep.
So I agree with your take on that. So you got Clemson winning this game as well?
Yeah. I got them covering too. I think they'll.
Ooh, I like it. I don't have them covering, so we'll see who's right on this one. The next game that I got on our docket, this one's kind of a sneaky game to me. I don't foresee this being an upset. Number 24 Mississippi State at number 6 Alabama. This could be. Go ahead.
No, you want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
The Will Rogers, the #1 leading pass, I think #2 now because of Hendon Hooker and what he's done. That offense for Mississippi State is tricky. Alabama has shown that they have trouble. Their secondary. If you're worried about Oklahoma State secondary, you might want to be worried about this Alabama secondary too.
Right.
This is Mike Leach. This is like one of the godfathers, if not the godfather of the air raid. So if anybody's going to give old Nick Saban some trouble, it's these Mississippi State Bulldogs. And they're quietly having a great year, man. Shoot, I mean, you look at their record and who they played. They've only lost to Kentucky, and they had a loss to LSU, and that's about it.
It's not bad.
You know what I mean?
That's not bad. When you break it down, though, and you look at it, though, I just don't see Alabama dropping 2 in a row, man.
No.
This is at home. This is at home, too. It's in Tuscaloosa. It's a 6 o'clock game, so it's going to be nighttime. Those fans are going to be in there. They're going to be ruckus. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be rolling the tide all over. It's -21 in Vegas, my guy. So Vegas isn't giving them any damn chance either. And I think Bama covers that with ease. I think they're going to have – I told you it could be a scary game. Just don't think it's going to be, though. I think that Nick Saban's going to get something figured out. But I said it, man. I said this at the beginning of the year. Alabama is not the Alabama of recent years. They're just not. It's not. They don't have that juice this year. And that sounds crazy because I picked these suckers to win it all. But that's the thing with early season predictions. You haven't seen any teams play no more, and you're kind of going off of past recency. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if they don't get beat, they'll beat Mississippi State. Then they're at LSU. I think that Alabama will handle LSU as well. But then it's at Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin, the number 7 team in the nation. You know what I'm saying? Lane Kiffin got them boys over there playing good. They got that transfer quarterback from USC, Jackson Dart. You know what I'm saying? He was OU was rumored to try and get him as well. It was between us and Ole Miss. So Jackson Dart is a talented quarterback. I don't think he's quite put it together yet, but he's still young. Give the guy time to blossom, and he's with Lane Kiffin. So he's going to be successful. I think it's been proven this year that the reason Matt Corral at Ole Miss wasn't because of Jeff Lebby. That was Lane Kiffin. I mean, people wanted to say all that whenever he came to Oklahoma. Me personally, as an OU fan, I haven't been impressed with Jeff Lebby and his play calling. So we'll see as time weighs on and everything. But Lane Kiffin is going to have them boys ready to play against Nick Saban. You best believe that one. And they're at home.
Huge game. Yeah, that'll probably be game day. Will probably be there for that one.
I could see it, especially if both teams keep winning. You know what I'm saying now? But Mississippi State's not going to stand a chance in this game. I don't believe so. Now, I could be wrong, but the 21, give it to me. I'll roll with that one. Bama's covering all day.
Before we close this one out, they say Nick Saban's favorite week to coach a football team is the week after they lost. So you know how he's going to use last week's loss to Tennessee as the biggest motivating factor. And he's probably worked the hell out them boys this week. So I think they're going to be ready.
That was a tough game last week, man. That was against a tough opponent. Tennessee's tough this year. Yeah. They really, really are. And they came to play, man. Like I said, Hendon Hooker, man, that's the Heisman favorite right now. So no disrespect to Bama at all for losing to them boys, and especially where they lost to them at. And they didn't go down without a fight. So Bama's not no joke. No. They're going to come out at 6 p.m. in Tuscaloosa in front of their fans, and they're going to put on a show. They're going to let people know, don't just calm down. Alabama's not losing 2 games in a row. It's just not going to happen.
Right.
So, is there anything else you want to touch on this game before we head on out of here?
No, that was it, man. That was a good show. I like it.
All right, then, man. Well, shoot, man. This is the Week 8 college football intriguing matchup show for us. This is the House Divided podcast, guys. And again, I'm always going to mention this. If you guys are here right now and you haven't hit that subscribe button, what in the hell are you doing? Hit it. Just hit the button. It's really not hard. It takes one click. And then also just give us one more click if you don't mind and hit that thumbs up for that like. And drop down in there and let us know how we did in our content. Drop it all down. I don't care. Good, bad, right, wrong, indifferent. It don't matter to us one way or another, folks. So, as always, it's a pleasure, my brother Corey. This is The House Divided. We signed on in tonight, guys, and now we're going to sign on out. Peace.